Testing. I'm testing the volume. Our artistic skills can be greatly improved by one thing: seeing and observing the world more expansively or more deeply. Direct observation has a way of invigorating the art process like nothing else can. And if you, like I do, find this to be an undeniable fact about the kind of artist you are, then you'll be driven to know your subjects firsthand. Then use that inspiration to make something new and personal to you. And that artistic drive will push you out of your comfort zone and be the catalyst you need to go out and do more stuff. This motivation was responsible for this painting coming to life. No peddlers. This painting and other future artworks I have planned would not have happened without this extra bit of motivation. Let me explain the lesson I learned while I show you how this painting came to be. When we planned a trip to Colorado, my first thoughts were of those gorgeous mountain peaks and all the references I could get. We picked out a hiking trail we thought we could do, and I looked over some of the reviews from the trail. That's when I saw it the first time.
Moose.
I started to get excited about the possibility of seeing a moose during our trip, and started thinking of all the possible paintings I could do. I'd never seen a moose in person before, and the anticipation was starting to build up. When we arrived in town, we went to a shop where the owner casually mentioned what had been strolling in the parking lot that very morning.
Moose.
In another instance, we happened to spot one while we were driving, but it was too far away to get a good look. My anticipation only grew until we went on the hike and experienced an issue. We didn't see a single moose. I tried to keep my expectations in check, but the very next morning, I had a vehicle stop and tell me what was just around the corner.
Another moose.
I carefully went to see if I could locate it, only to find nothing. The moose had once again evaded me. I was distraught and thought I would come away from this trip without a single legitimate moose sighting. Like some sort of ancient Greek god torture, I would be forever destined to only hear about the moose, but never be able to see one myself. But I was bound and determined, specifically because I wanted to paint one so badly. On the last day we were there, I set an early alarm and took a gamble on another morning hike. And this time, it paid off. My prey had finally been spotted, and the hunt was over. The experience felt almost Disney-like, with the early morning sun casting a warming light, and the magpie hopping around the scene, including on the moose itself. I ended up getting even more than I bargained for, with another moose sighting before we left, and now I've got all sorts of ideas for more artworks. I know that's a bit of a dramatic story, but in all honesty, after hiking and traveling for several days, I was pretty tired, and sleeping in on that last morning before having to pack up and drive 6 hours back home was pretty tempting. There was no guarantee I would even see a moose on that last morning, and an earlier version of myself would have just let it go. I already had a lot of great reference material from the trip, including the inspiration for my painting Half-Light, and that could have been enough. It was that drive to experience something new that gave me that last little bit of motivation to go out and take advantage of the time we still had at the cabin. In that moment, my art became more than just an output, more than just a journal of my life. It became a driving motivator to make that life just a bit more interesting. Without a creative motive, I would most likely default to being just a casual observer, failing to look deeper or look for the kinds of interesting things that could enrich my knowledge of the world and my artworks at the same time. It gives me an excuse to endure conditions that I would otherwise wouldn't normally be exposed to. It gives me an excuse to feel a bit silly while I lay down in the dirt to get a more interesting angle during a photo session. Most of all though, it gives me a mission and purpose when I travel or take part in events. That same drive to eventually create compelling artworks is the drive that has me wanting to engage more deeply with the experience in the moment. This is an artistic skill, just as much as composition, brushwork, or any other technical aspects of the art-making process. I'd argue this is one of the most important artistic skills we can cultivate and develop. The things we observe and experience help shape our imagination and inspiration. The perspective of each artist determines what they might be looking for while out in the world, and will ultimately shape the artworks they make, creating a unique body of work specific to that person. This takes time and practice to grow, but most of all, it takes courage. We must push past our comfort zones in order to observe something in a way we aren't really used to. Sometimes it's as simple as getting up early when we're physically exhausted just to catch a glimpse of a moose. Other times, it's pushing ourselves into a new environment to capture real emotional depth. And sometimes, it's when we look upon the mundane and familiar with a new lens and breathe new life into something others left to ruin. This is one of the most exciting aspects of art making to me, partially because I know I still have a long way to go in my own personal growth in this area, and hopefully I can continue to share more learned lessons like this as I continue my artistic journey. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content and would like to see more. I have a link to my website and Patreon in the description if you'd like to support my art making endeavors. I'd love to read your comments as well. Thanks for watching.